Hello everyone, I am Phoenix Tremaine, and this is my review of Bravo's Workout New York. If you haven't done so, please take a minute to subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. If you've already subscribed, thank you very much. I appreciate everyone who supports me on this social media experience. I also have all of my links. So if you want to talk to me on Facebook, if you want to see my new Instagram, which is now blown up with, so much stuff. I have my new talk show, which I'll show like a little clip of at the end of this review. And, let's just do this thing. I don't know if you're going to be watching Workout New York. It's one of them shows where it's not like Love and Hip Hop or Real Housewives of Atlanta. It either pops or it don't. Bravo constantly tries to put out these, workout shows. And so far, they usually last one, maybe two seasons at the most. This one is interesting. Some of the behaviors have caused me to say, I'm gonna do a review on this. So if you haven't watched it, I do recommend it. It is entertaining. Some of the people are annoying as fuck, but I'm gonna go down the list of notes that I took. I like to take notes. I don't forget nothing. Let's talk about Lindsay and Layla. So Lindsay is kind of like the trainer that, like, everybody on the show is hot. They all have hot bodies. Lindsay is the trainer that got hurt, so she's not as in shape as everybody else. I can relate. I'm a fitness trainer myself, and I got hurt and I gained weight. And even now, my mother died last year. I got depressed. I gained some more weight. So, now shit is almost fucking January. It's my time of the year. I got, clients from the past coming back. I've been doing this shit for 10 years. And, I'm doing my thing and getting my body right and trying to show people how to get theirs right. So, I understand where Lindsay's coming from. And she gets on Layla because in episode 1, this is episode 2. In episode 1, Layla and what's the guy named Courtney, they were real ratchet as fuck because they're jealous of this guy named Joe. Because Joe has Rolexes and spends a lot of money. Somebody had 450 pair of tennis shoes and all this other kind of stuff. And so they started saying, well, how do you make your money? Where do you get your money? How are you getting all this shit? They started interrogating and getting on him really bad. And he's like, well, fuck you people, I'm out. And he just walks out. And they're all like, how dare he not answer our questions? When we ask him something, he's supposed to tell us. So they're ratchet as fuck and insecure. And it shows in their behavior. But that's reality TV. And Lindsay just pretty much tells Layla, you went too far in trying to interrogate him. And, you're not really supposed to ask people about their finances and stuff. But Courtney found out that Joe may do some go-go dancing on the side. So pretty much they were trying to get him to admit that he's a go-go dancer, which he did not do. Courtney throws a boot camp and invites all the different trainers there. The big thing that happens at that event is Layla is pretty much on the show acting like a whore. And there's no other way to put it. She's dating this guy named Jay. And Jay seems to be a good guy. But she likes to flirt with other guys in front of Jay and try to make him upset and jealous and all this other kind of shit. And she thinks it's funny. But it happened in the first episode. Now it's happening again in this episode. And I know women like that. They'll flirt with another guy at a bar just to see if you'll fight for them. And, if you walk out and say, like, fuck you, bitch, they're like, that's not how this is supposed to go. So when Jay gets upset with Layla, she's like, it was just a joke, get over it. Where she's making moaning and groaning and flirting with this guy, Noah, who's another trainer she works with, causing Jay to be insecure. But at the end of the episode, she pretty much says she's going to give him the best blowjob of his life and they're going to make up and blah, blah, blah. He smiles and then he's all good. But that relationship will not make it because if he's that jealous and she's obviously not getting what she needs, she's not being fulfilled in the way that she needs to play games, that this isn't going to work, and she's talking about they're trying to open up a gym together. No, no, no. This is just a recipe for disaster. She's definitely one of those girls that needs a guy to come in and sort of just like take charge and say, no, you're not going to do this, and no, a blowjob's not good enough. If you want me, you're going to have to act like you got some fucking sense. And she's either going to say, yes, daddy, or go fuck yourself. If she says, yes, daddy, she wants you, and she's not trying to lose you. But if she says, go fuck yourself, she was just playing games with you. And then Joe arrives, and he once again reiterates that, you know, his finances is his business. If they don't like it, is fuck it, you know. So Joe basically puts Courtney and Layla in their place. And then we have Holly. She's kind of like the main trainer that they all kind of revolve around. And she has the gym that they all pretty much work out of. And Holly is lesbian, and she has a crush on this girl named Audrey, who's a photographer. And as a way to get her alone, she asks her to do a photo shoot. And so they meet for coffee to discuss it. And Holly gets crushed because her gaydar is broke. Audrey has a boyfriend, and she's not really looking at Holly like that. She's really looking at it as a job opportunity. And so Holly, you know, is like, oh shit, you know. And then we've got Lena, who's entering a bodybuilding competition, and she needs photos for her site because she's new, so she's trying to build her brand. And she recruits Courtney to be on her website as a model. And he says, well, why just me? Let's get some of the other guys in there too. Then you really have like all of these hot, you know, guys flanking you. And she's like, okay, cool. You know, if you ask them, you know, they want to do it, cool. So Courtney goes and he asks Noah and Joe. Now, he's got some real balls to ask Joe, because he's done so much shit in regards to Joe, because he's like so super jealous. Joe's only been in fitness for 3 years, and he has probably 5 times as much of any of these people on the show has as far as like material things. And you can see that Layla's envious of it, and Courtney's envious of it. And, you know, Joe's the type kind of guy who's sort of like a fashion guy. He was a model. So he'll wear a skirt, or he'll wear something that's sort of like feminine, or wear a woman's shoes or anything to make a fashion statement. And so Courtney in the first episode was like, oh my God, you know, he's so fucking gay. You know, he's gay. And I'm like, Courtney is the biggest queen on the show. A girl walks into the room and is like, bitch, hey. And I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, you know, that is not how a straight man greets a woman. You know, bitch, how you doing, bitch? That is not how a straight man greets a woman. And then there was sort of like a comment that was thrown out there when he said he was sick. And Joe said, dealing with dirty men, some shit like that he said, that implied that Courtney's gay. So it hasn't really been confirmed or denied, you know, because in one episode, Courtney's like, sort of like, you know, talking down to Joe as if being gay is a bad thing. But then his behavior in the first and second episode screams feminine, gay, butch queen. You know, what the fuck? And then we've got a big argument about Brandon, because when Courtney asks Noah and Joe if they can do the photo shoot, Noah's like, well, I have a brand and I have sponsors, and I need to know what sponsor she has on her site or she's associated with, because if it contradicts with the sponsors that I'm dealing with, then I could have a legal problem. But of course, Courtney does not understand this, because he's not at their level. He's not at Noah's level where he's posting for GQ or anything like that. You know, Courtney's sort of like in that age where he's getting injuries, and his career is sort of like going in the opposite direction, whereas the other guys are still going up and up and up and up. And so he doesn't really understand about branding, and that it's not just about, oh, I'm so fabulous, you know, so I can't be on your site. It's more about, these people are paying me. Let's say we'll use McDonald's. So McDonald's is using me as their ambassador for their salads. And then Lena got to deal with Burger King, and she's the ambassador for their salads. So when I'm on a picture with Lena on her website and there's like a Burger King ad on there, then McDonald's will be like, "Fuck you doing?" We got you exclusively. You can't be just doing shit. But he doesn't understand that. And then so Joe kind of chimes in. He's like, I feel the same way. I have a brand too, and I don't think this is good for either one of us. So Courtney's like, fuck you bitches. She's a friend. You should just fucking do it because she needs it and it will help her. Your career is rising. You got to reach down and help other people up. And they're like, we can't actually necessarily do that and hurt ourselves in the process. So then we're all down. And none of us, all of us need help. So they're like, can we help her in some other way? And Courtney's not hearing this. But I understand where they're coming from. And I've dealt with actors who, for my production company, that had brands and deals and stuff like that. And there's certain things that they couldn't do as a character because they may have had a clearance with the government. And so I can't be doing some crazy love scene on your show when I have this government clearance, and then they're going to be asking me, why the hell are you butt ass naked, doing this, that, and the other? Let's say having a threesome with these guys. I mean, you got shit to answer to. So it's very important that, what it is you're trying to do, will it conflict with something else that you're trying to do? So I get it. And then the person who doesn't get it, or she's like, because she's already where she wants to be, Holly, she's branded, she's got her own business, they're working for her for the most part. And she's like, she's a friend, just do a picture, it's just a picture. And so Noah says, well, I'm your protege, but I will respectfully disagree with you because for me, at this stage of the game, it's not just a picture. I don't want to make any mistakes. I'm paraphrasing for him. And then I'm going to go back to something that happened in the show, and it made me really feel for Joe and find Joe to be a more relatable guy than I initially thought he would be. And that's, Joe opens up to Lindsay, and Lindsay's, like I said, the girl who was injured, and so she's pretty much the nice one. She doesn't try to start shit. And so he opens up to her and says that he came from a really poor environment in Linden, New Jersey, and that his father died of a heroin overdose, and all of the males on his father's side died of drug-related issues. And he grew up extremely poor, and he was looking in the mirror, and he said, you got to become more, you got to be better than this. And so he left New Jersey with, he's one of 6, and his brother said, leave and don't come back, and if they don't understand, then they don't want you to do better. So he went out there and he did his thing, he modeled, and he made his money. He talked about he got, during the recession, he bought an apartment building for $300,000. It's now worth $950,000. The building is paid off. And so he gets money that way. He's like, he has different income streams. He's not just a fitness trainer. And it's nobody's business how he's getting his money coming in. So whether they think he's a go-go dancer or whatever they may think, how he makes his money, how he buys his 450 pair of shoes is his business. And I can understand, no matter whether you're black, white, Latino, whatever, if you come from a very poor environment, material things become very important to you because material things equate success. So, getting one pair of shoes may not feel like success to him. Getting 100 pairs of shoes is success to him because these are things that he could have never attained where he was. And he can look and feel good and say, hey, I bought this name brand label shit, and it makes me feel good because I'm now surrounding myself with expensive things and luxury. I'm not saying that that's something that's the right thing to do or anything of that nature. What I'm saying is I understand where he's coming from, not that I agree with it. I think that he probably would be in a much better place, in a much more secure place, if instead of spending, let's say $500,000 on junk, clothes, shoes, whatever, and he banked that money and was getting interest on it, and now he has $600,000-700,000 in the bank, and he can secure a home and a nice car and just the big items, and then get clothes within reason until you're at a multi-million-dollar stage, and where, okay, fuck it, I'm gonna get 400 pairs of shoes, but shit, I got more money than one person will be able to spend. As a person who, I used to be a firefighter and a bank teller and all that kind of shit, I realized the difference between people with new money and people with old money. When I was a bank teller, people with new money, it was like it burnt a hole in their pockets. They had to spend it. They got their car, insurance, paid them a check, and they come in, all this new shit, and then before you know it, they might have, let's say, $50,000. Well, within 2 months, they might have $5,000 because they just never had that much money before and they just blew it. And then before you know it, they back to needing money because rather than take a breath, stop, save, and think, how can I make this money work for me? It's like, how can I make this money work for other people? So I don't agree with what Joe is doing unless he's got a sugar daddy or something that's just really taking care of him and he's not going to say it on the camera. He's doing a good job at whatever he's doing to make his money, and he's on TV and he's doing his thing, and that's going to bring his brand up even higher. And I like Joe. I don't like Layla because I don't like people that play games. I don't like Courtney because he's just the wrong kind of shit starter to me. Because he seems like he's like Kenya Moore. He seems like envious and jealous of anybody else doing better than him. So, I don't like any of that shit. But I like Lindsay, I like Joe, I like Holly, I like Noah. These seem to be really good people. And I'm looking forward to seeing what happens next on the show. It seems like it's very dramatic. But I'm not sure this will get a season 2. But we'll see. Now, I'm going to put my own, my talk show, just a little brief clip is going to be one of my guys from my talk show, Speedy Escobar, asking you to watch our show. We have a segment out now, Our Best Sexual Experiences, and I just want you to watch it and check it out. And I'm going to now get back to my fitness and do my thing because it's almost my time of year. So I got to get to make sure the body's right and tight and make sure all that good stuff. Then, the chest is really cutting now. And this is going down. So I got to really, do a new before and after picture. I'll put my before and after picture up so you can see what I did years ago and how I'm trying to recreate that. Oh my goodness, my dick just came out. So you didn't see that, did you? I'm going to edit that out. I don't know. How long has my dick been just sitting out there? Okay. I'm going to edit up so that you won't see that my big old dick is just like hanging out there. I didn't even realize that until I was like, what the fuck? But, wow, that just happened. So let me get back to working out. And hopefully you enjoy this show workout. And if you're in the Baltimore area and you need a trainer, I'm here.
This Speedy Escobar, commentator on the talk show Phoenix Remains the Hard Truth. And we just filmed a great topic on the best sexual experience. That experience that you can just jerk off from memory. That experience that you're going to think about for the rest of your life.